It's 2 p.m. in the afternoon, so time for breakfast. Today we're checking out all the most popular breakfast sandwiches in the city, starting with this one I saw on TikTok. So it's basically bacon, egg, and cheese and everything bagel with a twist. They cook the eggs in this cylinder thing, everything bagel seasoned croissant, topping off with the cacio e pepe sauce. I bet you $50 is just the leftover sauce from other dishes. I love how the concept is, Anyways, let's go visit it. It's called Unregular Pizza. We've reviewed their pizza before, claiming to be Roman style, but I feel like if actual Romans saw this pizza, they'll come and attack it. These are their deep fried pasta. I really didn't like it and said it in the video and started some beef. Anyways, this is the wrong place. Across the street is their bakery that sells those sandwiches. They call it the Unregular Bakery. Isn't the right word irregular? Look at the lamination job on these croissants. Very impressive. I like the donuts are strawberry cheesecake flavored too. But the most impressive has to be these Kinder chocolate flavored croissants. Ever since I got that box from Germany, I discovered a new realm of pleasure. Especially one in particular called Happy Hippos. That thing is the best candy bar ever invented. I thought about moving to Germany just to have access to that. They don't have the breakfast sandwich anymore because it's 3 p.m. So I got the ham and cheese instead. I feel like a ham and cheese is still in the breakfast sandwich category, right? Oh, by the way, PA is here.
Turn it a little bit. Turn it like the... Yeah. But can you do it with 2 hands?
What?
Bro, like spin it. Spin it with your hand. Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, that croissant looks...
Can you like comment that?
The original I was gonna get is like a croissant.
This is definitely the best ham and cheese I've ever had.
Really?
Yeah.
The best sandwich you've ever had?
No, ham and cheese sandwich.
Oh, can you show the cross section real quick? And turn it towards the camera. Squeeze it a little bit. Good.
A life of an influencer, huh?
Yeah, it's rough these days. How would you rate the sandwich from 1 to 10?
In terms of ham and cheeses, 10 out of 10.
Really?
But in terms of sandwiches, 7 out of 10. How much was it?
$9.
Alright, 6.5 out of 10.
The next spot all the way in East Village is called CMB, which stands for Chuck Bass. Just kidding. They're famous around the neighborhood for their breakfast sandwiches, in particular the one called Pick and Egg. This place has been open for a really long time. They've been expanding for the past couple of years because they earned the trust of locals. Just look at the smooth and seamless movements of the staff, serving up the best sandwiches in all of East Village. I hope this one's not mine. After a layer of avocado comes the egg and a final layer of arugula. Seems a little too vegetarian. Oh, he's opening it back up to put something else in it. I wonder what it is. It really should be some type of meat. Okay, some oil. And some more oil. Oh, I guess that's it. Then he wraps it up, pass it on to the next guy. And the guy opens it back up. Here we go. Some good old... bacon. Okay, I made sure that this is my sandwich. So some roast pork, and look how jiggly these eggs are. Some additional seasoning of the right end of the pepper grinder. Here comes the pig and egg.
Whoa.
That looks good.
I know.
So soft eggs on top of roast pork shoulders, seared to crispy on both sides. It looks like a McDonald's commercial. And again, PA does the rating because I have Invisalign in. And this bun doesn't really look like brioche, so I'm just gonna assume it's sourdough.
Also, I think bacon would be better.
But isn't it more tender? Is it like pulled pork?
No.
Is it better than the last one?
No. $11?
Yeah.
6. Bro, you know I'm not picky, but this is not that great. You're just eating a pork chop in the middle of a sandwich. It's kind of weird.
Well, personally, I think that concept sounds pretty fire. Filming in public is maxing out my social anxiety scale. To upkeep my inner peace, I need a nap after every sandwich. And speaking of mental health, let's talk about today's sponsor, BetterHelp. As you guys already know, the account Future Canoe is completely separate from my personal life. While in many aspects, I'm appreciative of my online anonymity, but sometimes it becomes a source of stress that I don't want to talk to anybody around me about. It'd be pretty wise to seek out a licensed therapist to listen and provide unbiased advice. advice. BetterHelp is an approachable way to start your first session of therapy. The app is easy to navigate and it helps to connect you to the right therapist based on your personalized needs. In most cases, you'll get matched within 48 hours or less after filling out the questionnaire. You're able to choose the time frame and format that's the most convenient for you. For example, I definitely don't want a face reveal to my therapist before all of you, so I'll probably go with the text or phone call option. Even if you don't feel like it's the right fit, you have access to over 30,000 therapists that you can switch to with no additional cost. So if you think therapy might be beneficial to your mental state, go to betterhelp.com/futurecanoe or choose Future Canoe during sign up. You'll get a special discount off your first month of therapy if you do. We're back in Soho, aka the Gen Z Times Square. This place is called Thai Diner. I've been seeing this all over social media, so it has a lot of hype to it. It's already 3 p.m, but the breakfast sandwich serves till 4, so I started with their duck egg drop soup. It's not really egg drop, it's more like a smoothie, but it tastes like tom yum. Here's a famous Thai Diner egg sandwich. It also has fried basil and some pork in it. I'll be eating this myself because I'm hungry now. The wrap is super crispy, kind of like a spring roll. The filling is rich and full of texture, which contrasts well with the spicy vinegar sauce. I'm gonna dip this chicken egg sandwich into the duck egg drop soup, the best interspecies embryo combination I've ever had. PA ordered a cocktail and a sundae, which is 80% whipped cream and coconut. It was okay, but the egg sandwich is a 9.2 out of 10, the best so far. Last place we're going to is called Winsun Bakery, another super viral place. I think Winsun is the name of a Taiwanese restaurant, and this is their bakery across the street. I guess every successful restaurant makes bakeries now, but I do have to give it to them. They have the best hot sauce here. Although it's no tapa, but Valentina is still pretty up there. I got this nice little rainy spot to fully experience Brooklyn. This is my second time in Brooklyn since I moved to New York. It reminds me of a school cafeteria tray. This is the famous scallion pancake bacon, egg, and cheese. You just know it's gonna be crispy. This is another signature. I think it's a rice roll with pork and egg and stuff. I've had rice rolls before, but it's usually in the form of rice paper. The pork inside is really crispy. I just wish the egg was runny. Here is the main star of the show. How can this not be good? Like, look at this. They also have a bunch of other options for this scallion pancake breakfast sandwiches. The shrimp patty one looked really interesting. I think I'll try it later. The outside's crispy, so is the bacon. The eggs are really soft, and the scallion flavor really comes through. It really hits all the spot. Best one so far. It's even better with the Valentino. This is a dessert option. They call it the custard toast. I think it's just a piece of milk bread with custard on top and brulee. It's a little too hard and salty for me. It reminded me of that duck egg drop soup, so maybe I'll get a donut to go. Overall, this place is a 9.5 out of 10. Now I really want to try the restaurant across the street. Since I'm already in Brooklyn, I'm gonna stop by Ceremonial to get that breakfast burrito thing. Tiny bakery with one hot station dedicated to burritos. I also asked for avocados because I'm balling like that. Come on, tell me that isn't beautiful. It's a chorizo breakfast burrito with avocado added. They gave us some salsa verde. I'm gonna just drown it. I wish we had some of that green sauce from the one pot meal episode. Does breakfast burrito qualify as a sandwich? I'm not here to talk about that. This breakfast burrito qualifies for everything you ever need in life. As you guys know, Mexican is my favorite cuisine, so I'm a little biased. The egg, potato, and chorizo are all sort of like crumbled up together, flavoring each other. So it's like a texture-rich bite, completed with the creaminess of avocado and the acidity from the sauce. I'm gonna give it a 9.7 out of 10. A lot of high scores today. I would finish this whole thing, but I've been a little harsh on my roommate in the videos recently, so I'll give this to him. I feel like croissant ham and cheese is too easy. I don't want to waste your time. And I make breakfast burritos quite a lot that it's kind of boring. So I decided to make the scallion pancake one together. It's really thin and crispy, but it has all these little layers in between. The inside is chewy and filled with scallion. We'll start with the dough for the wrap. Cake, flatbread, what do you call it? Maybe the most accurate name to call it is a Chinese shawarma. So after 2 cups of flour and 1 teaspoon of salt, we'll pour in 1/4 cup of hot water, which is something I've never seen before. I did some half-assed research and found out that boiling water enhances the gelatinization of the starch in the flour, which makes the texture easier to be turned into layers later. After that, we'll add in 1/2 cup of cold water. Continue to mix till absorbed. Then we'll knead it by hand for a little while. You gotta keep rubbing it till the dry pieces gets mixed in. If it's taking a while, you can just rub it on the couch. I ended up kneading on this cutting board. It took less than 10 minutes. See how it has acne scars now? Wrap it up and set it aside to rest for 20. While we wait, we're gonna prepare the oil. First, separate your whites and colored. We'll chop the white part very finely and the green part into thin half-inch segments. And we'll put the green part away and use the white part for oil. You don't have to wait for it to reach a certain temperature. If they're sizzling, they're good to go. We'll let it infuse on low heat for about 15 minutes. You can use the green part too, I guess, but it's gonna look too much like, you know, brownie butter. After 15 minutes, it should be a little browned up. We'll add half a teaspoon of salt and 1/4 cup flour. This is going to be the paste / filling that we use to create those layers. You'll see in a sec. After resting, our dough is a lot more pliable than before. We'll dust some flour on top and roll it into a rod. The recipe I'm using here makes about 6 pancakes, so I'll cut it into even pieces. I guess this is where the fun begins. You're about to witness my constant fight with the gluten in the dough. Every time I stretch it out, it just springs back. It's annoying me so much that I might just go gluten-free at the end of the video. Now I'll take the oil, scallion, and flour mixture from before and evenly brush it onto the surface. So the flour part makes it stick together and the oil part prevents it from sealing all the way through. So I guess it's kind of like making a croissant. Now we'll sprinkle on top as much of the green part as you want and take bottom of the sheet and fold up by 2 to 3 inches and repeat till it becomes like a flat roll. Try to avoid getting air into it as well. And we'll take the corner and roll it again horizontally. If it wasn't for this piece of scallion, I would have assumed that this is a really well sealed cinnamon roll. Then we'll just wet the tip of your finger and go all the way like this. And then
This thing's kind of complicated, man.
we'll smush down the roll to expand all the layers and use a pin to get it as flat as you want. The filling spilling out is making me a little concerned. For some reason, I feel like I shouldn't have showed that on camera. After a few strokes of my gentle wood, the shape is taken up like this.
I guess you wonder where I've been.
Just like what my mom said about my older sister, the first pancake is always the worst. I rested the dough a little longer to relax the gluten, and also I'm starting with my fingers gently pressing down to make it into a disc. We want to get it as thin as possible, so we gotta go slower than last time. And also this spilling of filling is normal. It's puffing up a little bit and much better than last time. Let's get started with the filling. So I got this idea from the menu of Winsun. Besides the bacon, egg, and cheese, they also have a scallion pancake breakfast sandwich stuffed with shrimp, but not like individual pieces. It's more like a shrimp patty and topped off with cheese and everything. It's basically just a fish smoothie with starch. It's super easy. We'll start off by slicing 2 pieces of bacon and then peel off the tail of some defrosted shrimps. Throw them all into a blender and start seasoning with salt, sugar, garlic powder, white pepper, fish sauce, and finally 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. We don't have to make it too fine. Sometimes the texture of small pieces of shrimp tastes pretty good. Maybe not this big though. I don't know how they make it at the bakery, but I'm just gonna assume it's same as a burger. Seafood generally cooks faster than beef, so we'll just do like 2 minutes on each side. When the patty's pretty much cooked through, we'll layer in the raclette. Almost all the water landed outside the pan, but whatever. Got a little impatient, so I'm just gonna torch it. Time to assemble. Let's take a look at this scallion pancake. It's crispy and look at all these layers too. It may look like a flatbread, but it tastes like not a flatbread. Now I'm just gonna improvise, so spreading on some agavescent mayo, kimchi, and not a crappy patty, but a shrimpy patty. I'm trying to figure out what's the best way to showcase this. All the colors and the texture looks really chaotic. It just seems really messy. You know what, any good sandwich is sliced in half, so I'm just gonna cut it. Otherwise it's just a giant taco. Look at this cross section. You can see the layers in the pancake. The side looks pretty good too. It's got a lot going on. If you think about it, it's a really weird sandwich, but I'm pretty proud of myself for this pancake. So let's give it a taste and rate it 1 through 10. Before tasting, I wasn't sure how I feel about this shrimp burger thing, but I'm glad it's completely overpowered by bacon, which is then overpowered by the flavors of scallion. A lot of good texture going on. The cheese is soft, the shrimp burger is kind of bouncy, and the scallion pancake is really crispy. Overall, I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. It's really good. I just don't know how to make it look better. Also, I tried one in the air fryer. Came out super crispy, but just a little dried up. Seems like it's flakier and the layers are more expanded. The techniques used in this scallion pancake is nothing I've ever seen before. I think if we incorporate it into other type of bread and pastry, it might lead to interesting results. I'll try to experiment with it in a short video. Watch out for that. Anyways, that's it for the video this week. Hopefully next time you come to New York City, you can start your morning right, or afternoon. For next week, I want to make some noodles, so send me the best noodle dish from your country, comment down below, and if you already have a recipe, you can list it down too. Alright, thank you.